Secrets of Zynpagua, birth of mystery child. His son will be worse than him. Don't ever let him sing. Drudan and Romeo. Useless man, whom were you talking to? Asked Romeo as he wriggled inside Drudan's cell in the jail. My ghost, replied Drudan. Tell your ghost to behave himself. I can throttle him too, replied Romeo. The day I escape from this jail, I will ensure I throttle you and make you a ghost, said Drudan. High hopes, Romeo mocked and passed a mischievous smile at Drudan. You have no work but to sit on your bum and pass vicious smiles at me? Drudan snapped at Romeo. What? Said Romeo. Then he did a crazy dance around Drudan and hit his tail twice on the floor as he said, This is an insult to my being, to what I am, to my soul, to my existence. Why are you behaving like a mad fool? Asked Drudan, surprised at Romeo's reaction. You blocks. You stones, use worse than senseless things. Or you hard heart, you cruel men of Rome, knew you not Pompey? Romeo said melodramatically. What nonsense is this? Asked Drudan. This is not nonsense. This is a speech from the play Julius Caesar written by famous Shakespeare, said Romeo. Why are you telling me this speech? Seriously, you're ridiculous, said Drudan. Where do you see a bum on my marvelous body? Don't tell me your reaction was for not having a bum? Asked Drudan. Just because God has granted you a special cushion-like thing called bum to sit on, you will make fun of a snake? Romeo asked with mischief playing in his eyes. This is ridiculous reaction for not having a bum? Drudan repeated his question. Romeo nodded melodramatically, enacting an expression of deep sorrow. Just then, the sea water droplets sent by the mermaid landed on Drudan's face, breaking the saliva connection. Why am I not able to read your mind now? Romeo asked Drudan. You should know better, Drudan replied tersely. Trudy, came the mermaid's voice as soon as Romeo had left. Are you alone? She asked. Yes, that stupid Romeo has just left, said Drudan. Did the droplets reach you? The mermaid asked. Yes, mommy. The droplets of sea water reached my face and broke the connection. Drudan replied. I want you to escape and be with me. My magical abilities are taken away. What should I do? Drudan asked desperately. How did you lose your magical abilities? The mermaid asked. The moon took them away because I planned to seek revenge through the moon, said Drudan. Never mind, said the mermaid, trying to console him. You are a brilliant scientist. Please create something that paralyzes everyone. Then you can blackmail the angel birds and use them to do magic. Use them to come to me. Use them to seek revenge and use them to destroy Zynpagua, the mermaid said aggressively. Let us leave now, announced Susanna. Mother Susanna, I will stay back with angel birds here at the beach, replied Frederick. Where are you going to stay? Asked Susanna. Madre, no so preoccupe, replied Frederick. Mother, don't worry. Frederick repeated. I will stay in a hotel nearby. All right, children, Lady Karen and I are leaving now, said Susanna. She pronounced the chin, chinaki, chin, chin spell and diminished in size. The mermaid returned with much haste. Ben was seated on a tiny white boulder in the sea. He looked at mermaid and waved at her. The mermaid was exhausted and hungry. Ben pulled out a hollow stick from behind the boulder and blew air in it. The stick generated strange vibrations in water. As soon as he did that, innumerable small people gathered around the mermaid.
Assist our queen to settle in,
Ben commanded. Then he called out,
Roja, help the girl. She's fainted and needs immediate care.
A tiny man stepped forward and held Radhika's hand and somehow managed to balance her on his shoulders. He swam first, followed by the two tiny men escorting the mermaid. The mermaid was surprised to see a human civilization in the sea. The place was lined with tiny houses made of seashells. Some seashell houses were absolutely dry, where they had managed to obstruct water from seeping in. Ben swam ahead and, pointing towards a relatively big structure, said,
This is your house.
The mermaid was fatigued by the journey and gratefully thanked Ben. She swam inside and slumped on the bed made of shiny leaves surrounded with water. While still deep in sleep, she heard a melodious voice call her name. Mama, I'm coming, I'm coming. Who is coming? She murmured in sleep. Mama, your boy, I'm coming, said the melodious voice. The mermaid thought she was dreaming and dozed off to sleep.
This girl will die.
Roger, the man who was carrying Radhika, announced while carrying Radhika on his shoulders. Ben rushed towards Radhika. He touched her forehead and said,
Yes, I think water's entered her body.
She's not breathing, Ben's wife exclaimed, who had come out from her shell house to assist Ben.
She is breathing through her skin, said Ben, though not consistently.
She is not habituated to being in water for long. Her body is swollen and she might collapse, Ben's wife said.
How is she breathing through her skin?
Asked Ben.
The mermaid must have ensured that,
said Ben, thinking.
Even we are humans and we breathe through our skin,
he said. Please save her. She's our only hope, Ben's wife pleaded. Shh! Don't let the mermaid know our plan. She might eavesdrop. She will. She has to live for us, replied Ben. The mermaid's words built hope in Drudan. Yes, he was a scientist and he could create something fatal to destroy Susanna. This meal has been prepared for everyone in the palace, the head cook announced, coming in Drudan's jail. Show me, yelled Drudan. The head cook quickly uncovered the tray. The sight of innumerable variety of dishes pleased Drudan.
Good food.
Thank you, the head cook said and rushed out. Drudan eyed the tray. There were different varieties of breads and some dishes made in oil. He emptied the vegetables from one of the bowls and squeezed out oil from all the dishes. Then he hid the bowl beneath his blanket.
To start with, let me experiment with oil,
he thought. Why is there swelling near your ears? Asked Lady Carol. Anika moaned in pain as she sat up. When I was coming with Leo, I heard a melodious voice call my name, and as I concentrated on the voice, I felt my ears being pulled out and I fainted. Now what is this? Lady Carol said, sounding perturbed. Grandma, my ears hurt so much. Anika cried out in pain. Who was calling you? Asked Lady Carol. Just then, Romeo wriggled in. The guards had informed him about Anika's poor health. When Lady Carol was inspecting Anika's ears, he too came close to take a look. This kind of swelling comes when a very poisonous sea creature stings. How did you get it midair? Asked Romeo. It was the most amazing voice I've ever heard, Anika said, trying to remember the incident. But how is it that I did not hear it? Asked Leo. I don't know. It seemed the voice was coming from a far-off land, said Anika. Or from a far-off sea, said Lady Carol. Sea? Asked Leo. Yes, It could be the mermaid calling Anika, said Lady Carol. No, it was a boy's voice, said Anika. Lady Carol looked disturbed and said, or it could be the mermaid's son. But Venus said the mermaid's son would be born after 6 months. Anika replied immediately, I will have to find out, Anika. Saying this, Lady Carol left from the library. Muchas gracias, señorita, said Frederick as the lady at the reception handed the keys of the room to him. Unable to understand what she said, the lady gave a faint smile. Frederick understood and repeated, Thank you very much, madam. This time the lady smiled and said, Most welcome. Frederick had checked in a hotel near the beach of Kanyakumari. Susanna reached Zynpagua before twilight. The guards informed her about Anika's earache. She rushed to her room instantly. Anika was seated on the bed, shivering with pain. Vivian and Femina were standing beside her while Lady Carol was giving her another set of medicines. Nothing is working, she said. Vivian, what is the matter? Asked Susanna. None of my medicines are able to alleviate the pain, Lady Carol said helplessly. What kind of trouble is this? Susanna murmured. Romeo left Anika's room and saw the head cook. Where are you taking these breads? Romeo asked the head cook. Drudan has been binging like a bad man, replied the head cook. Drudan has been eating so many breads? Romeo asked, taken aback. Yes, I think he has been hungry for days, replied the head cook. Why do I smell mischief? Romeo thought. Let me take the breads to Drudan, Romeo said, taking the tray from the head cook and trying to balance it on his tail. Hey, glutton, how are you? Said Romeo, waving his tail at Drudan. Drudan looked at him with much disgust. I understand what you're going through, my friend, smiled Romeo, looking at Drudan. See what I've got for you, yummy breads, Romeo announced. Drudan did not respond. I will sit before you and make you eat them one by one, smiled Romeo. This made Drudan panicky. He had been storing breads to experiment on them. I'm not hungry, snapped Drudan. Romeo pounced on his lap and kissed his cheeks. You idiot, yelled Drudan, rubbing his cheeks, which were burning by the touch of venom. There is nothing inside your brain, it's a vacuum. How will thoughts float in vacuum? Jeered Romeo. Idiot, snapped Drudan. Don't lose hope like that. Close your eyes and pray hard, Susanna told Anika, seeing her shiver with pain. Anika nodded and joining her palms prayed. Oh Venus, the prettiest star, why are you so far? Are you not hearing me cry? My ears pain and mouth is dry. I feel depressed and out of hope. How should I cope without your support? With a colorful lightning, a broad beam appeared in the evening sky. A beautiful woman came sliding down the beam and asked Anika, Why are you depressed, Anika? I am tired and I don't know how to save my sister Radhika, Anika said, howling with pain. Venus touched Anika's head, and as she tilted her head, she saw her swollen ears. What happened to your ears? They are hurting, dear Venus. I heard a melodious voice call my name, after which I developed this earache, Anika said. I had no idea the future events would start shaping so soon. Venus responded with an expression of deep concern and worry reflecting on her face. Anika got concerned seeing Venus disturbed. What has started shaping? She asked. The universe does not allow me to reveal the events of future, Venus replied. She looked at Anika and asked, Are you sure you heard the melodious voice? Yes, replied Anika. So soon? Venus whispered as if talking to herself. She looked at Anika and said, Please find Paharo as soon as you can. No one has a cure to your earache except Paharo. If he has begun to sing before birth, what will he do after taking birth? Venus said aloud. Who has begun to sing? Asked Anika. Venus gestured Anika to remain silent while she was thinking. Please find Paharo soon, Venus said more emphatically than ever before. Is she alive? Asked Anika. Find out, replied Venus. Why are you not helping me, dear Venus? Asked Anika. I'm making you see flashes, smiled Venus. Mama, I'm coming, crossing the mountains and crossing the oceans, marching from the hell and commotion, happy to be sleeping in your womb. We'll show this world, oh. You don't worry, my pretty sweet mother, I will give you happiness like no other. The mermaid woke up with this melodious song that seemed to be coming from nowhere. Who is singing this song? She asked. Mama, please give me a name, the baby said. The mermaid was so puzzled that she fainted. Carrying such an unusual child was not a joke. The voice of the child traumatized her totally. When the baby did not hear Mermaid's reply, he began to howl inside her womb. As he did that, there was a storm in the sea. The winds began to blow with terrible velocity. Ben was sitting outside his house and he felt the sea shake. He rushed towards the sound of the voice. It was such a piercing sound that his ears began to hurt and bleed. Ben shook the mermaid and said,
Whose voice is this? My ears are bleeding!
The mermaid took some time to realize that the baby was crying inside her womb. She touched her stomach and caressed the baby. My darling, don't cry. Please don't cry. I have given you a name. Don't you want to know what your name is? She asked. Yes, Mama, the boy responded with excitement. Your name is Druma, the mermaid said. Druma? The baby asked, not sounding pleased with the name. Yes, Drudan is your father and I am a mermaid, your mother. When I combine the names, it becomes Druma, said the mermaid. I have a father? The baby asked. Yes, he is in jail in Zynpagua, mermaid replied. Oh, Anika, put him in jail? Asked the baby. How do you know, Anika? The mermaid asked, taken aback. I heard you speak to someone about Anika. You know, Ma, I tried calling Anika. How? Asked the mermaid, astonished at the revelation. I will tell you, Mama, I'm very tiny right now and talking has made me tired, the baby said. Okay, son, go to sleep, the mermaid said, gently stroking her stomach. Mama, before I sleep, I should tell you I don't like the name Druma. Instead, you can call me Murden. Spell it as capital M, then ER, again capital D, and then EN. Okay, but why? Asked the mermaid. Because I want my mother's name to come first. You prayed for me. First my mother will come and then my father. I should have an unusual spelling because I am special. Okay, I'm sleeping now, Murden said.